If you vanish tomorrow, will the world even notice? That question is meant to insult you. It's meant to awaken you, because the truth is this: you are not paid for your time. You are paid for the value you bring to the time. And until you understand that, you'll continue trading hours for dollars and wondering why you feel stuck, overlooked, and underappreciated. You are not paid for the hours you put in. You are paid for the value you bring to those hours. Let that truth hit you square in the mind. Because until it does, you keep wondering why you work hard and still come up short. You watch others rise while you stand still. You question your worth because no one ever told you that time is cheap, but value is priceless. It is not effort alone that commands reward. The world is not moved by activity, it is moved by impact. You can be busy all day and still make no progress. You can work overtime, show up early, stay late, and still be overlooked. If you haven't made yourself indispensable, why? Because effort without value is like motion without direction. It goes nowhere. The people who rise in this world are those who understand this principle and apply it with relentless force. They stop measuring their day by hours worked and start measuring by results delivered. They stop chasing recognition and start chasing refinement. They don't ask, how long did I work? They ask, what did I create today? What did I solve? What did I make better, faster, stronger, more efficient, more profitable? Value is created through growth, and growth is never comfortable. It requires courage to admit you don't know enough. It requires resilience to keep showing up when results are slow. But here's the truth. Value doesn't fall in your lap. It's earned through sweat, through study, through sleepless nights, and relentless discipline. It's earned through becoming the person who doesn't just show up, but shows up prepared to win. You have to become the one people seek out, not because you're available, but because you're unmatched. You must invest in your mind until it becomes sharper than any obstacles. Train your skills until they solve problems others run from. Develop your awareness until you see opportunity in chaos. Become so rare, so remarkable, that your presence is not just appreciated, it's essential. The marketplace has no emotion. It has no loyalty. It only recognizes one thing: value. And if you're not growing, you're declining. There is no neutral position in a world that rewards excellence and punishes complacency. The person you are today will not be enough to conquer the battles of tomorrow. That's why your job, every single day, is to outgrow yesterday's version of yourself. Don't ask the world for more if you haven't become more. The promotion you want, it's waiting for a more valuable you. The business you dream of building, they need a sharper version of you. The life you crave, it doesn't respond to hopes. It responds to value, and value is built with focus, fire, and the fierce decision to no longer settle for ordinary. So the question isn't, are you working hard? The question is, are you becoming someone the world cannot afford to ignore? Because when you do that, compensation chases you, opportunities chase you. And the life you once imagined, it becomes the life you live. Focus is the gateway to all power. Without it, your energy is scattered, your progress is delayed, and your potential remains trapped inside a prison of distraction. But the moment you decide to focus fully, completely, and unapologetically, you begin to unlock strength you didn't know existed. Frustration. Greatness does not belong to the distracted. It belongs to the obsessed. To those who block out the noise, silence the critics, and lock in on one aim with relentless intent. Most people never fail because they lack talent. They fail because they try to do too much. They dabble. They bounce from one thing to the next, hoping something will work. But nothing works without commitment, and commitment demands focus. Not just any focus, but a focused mind with a definite purpose and a refusal to be pulled away from it. Until you lock in on one target, you will never unleash your full force. Focus is the ability to say no 1,000 times so that you can say yes to what actually matters. It's the discipline to keep your eyes on the prize while others chase comfort, chase trends, chase everything except mastery. You must be willing to look unreasonable, to walk alone, to choose depth over popularity. Because the truth is, focused people make the rest of the world uncomfortable. They don't follow the crowd, they move with intention. They don't chase motivation, they create momentum. And momentum is born the moment you stop trying to please everyone and start trying to win at something that matters. When you focus, you move faster, you learn deeper, you build stronger, you eliminate distractions, and with them you eliminate excuses. Excuses are the language of the unfocused. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you really mean is, I haven't made it a priority. And that ends today. If it matters, it gets your time. If it leads to growth, it gets your energy. If it builds your future, it gets your full attention. Let the world be chaotic. Let the distractions multiply. But you stay locked in. You show up every day with fire in your eyes and a target in your mind. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just the next step. But you take it with power, with clarity, with the intensity of someone who's done waiting for life to hand them anything. And don't you dare confuse focus with limitation. Focus doesn't limit you, it liberates you. It removes the clutter so you can move with precision. It cuts away the unnecessary so you can grow without interference. The more you focus, the more momentum you build, and the more momentum you build, the less resistance you face. Because life bends for the focused. Life opens up for the person who knows exactly where they're going and refuses to be distracted until they arrive. So make your decision, choose your mission, and focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. Res rubrius is the difference between those who start and those who succeed. The world will test you. Life will knock you down. You will face rejection, disappointment, betrayal, and setbacks that seem designed to break your spirit. And when that moment comes, and it will, you'll be faced with one decision: stay down or rise with more power than you ever knew you had. You don't build strength and comfort. You don't build courage when things are easy. You build resilience in the fire when the odds are stacked against you and quitting looks like the logical choice. But success does not belong to the logical. It belongs to the relentless, the ones who fall and get back up again. The ones who see failure not as a signal to stop, but as a lesson to sharpen their edge. You cannot control the obstacles, but you can control your response. And your response determines everything. Every challenge is a question, and resilience is the answer. Will you fold or will you fight? Will you whine or will you win? The truth is, every difficulty is shaping you, preparing you, forging you into someone stronger, wiser, tougher. But only if you keep going. Most people want progress without pressure. They want the reward without the risk. But pressure is the price of elevation. If you want to rise, you must endure. You must face adversity and decide that it's not bigger than your vision. You must stop asking, why me, and start saying, try me. Because the moment you stop fearing struggle and start embracing it, you become dangerous to everything that stands in your way. Let others complain. Let others break. You weren't built to crumble. You were built to conquer. The pain you feel today is the strength you wield tomorrow. The delays you hate are building the patience you'll need when your opportunity arrives. There is no growth without resistance. Just like a muscle, your mind, your character, and your will must be tested in order to grow stronger. You must believe even when there's no evidence. You must act even when the world tells you to wait. You must rise even when your body screams for rest. Because the truth is this: resilience is not a gift, it is a decision. It is the decision to get back up again and again. with purpose in your heart and fire in your eyes. And make no mistake, the moment you decide that nothing will break you, the world begins to shift. The setbacks lose their sting, the critics lose their power, and you become the kind of person success cannot resist, not because it was easy, but because you were stronger than what tried to stop you. They act, they move, they step into uncertainty with fire in their gut and a vision that refuses to die. If you're waiting for fear to disappear before you begin, you'll wait forever. Fear is not your enemy, it's your compass. It points directly to the place where your growth lives. The greater the fear, the greater the reward behind it. So don't avoid fear, walk through it. Meet it head on, because the act of beginning, even with trembling hands, is the birth of courage. Action creates confidence. Action creates clarity. The more you move, the stronger you become. Every step forward, even the small ones, builds momentum. And momentum is the one force in the universe that multiplies whatever you give it. You can be scared, unsure, unprepared, and still make progress if you just start. The ones who win in this life are not the most talented, they are the most courageous. They step out before it makes sense. They speak up before they're comfortable. They take the leap, while everyone else is stuck in hesitation. Courage is not loud. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just showing up when everything in you wants to stay hidden. Sometimes it's getting back up after you've failed in front of the world. Sometimes it's making the decision to bet on yourself even when no one else is cheering. And that kind of courage doesn't show up once. It must be chosen daily. You don't need to know every answer to take the first step. You don't need certainty to begin. You need a decision, a firm, unshakable decision that you will not live another day in the shadows of your potential. Because your future doesn't respond to thoughts. It responds to movement. Every great achievement in this world started with one courageous choice: to act. If you don't step out, you'll never find out what you're truly capable of. You'll sit on ideas until they rust. You'll bury dreams before they ever breathe. And one day you wake up and realize you didn't need more time. You needed more nerve. Life does not reward the fearful. It rewards the bold. The world makes way for the one who refuses to wait. So let the others stay safe. Let them play small, but not you. You were born with fire in your soul, and it's time to use it. No more delays, no more doubts. Stand up, lock in, and take the step you've been avoiding, because courage doesn't come after action. It comes from it. And once you move, you will never be the same. The fastest way to change your life is to get obsessed with improvement, not casual, not occasional, obsessed. Because those who rise are not the ones who dabble in growth when it's convenient. They are the ones who wake up hungry, who go to bed with a burning question. Did I become better today than I was yesterday? The world doesn't care where you started. It only responds to who you become. And if you want to become unstoppable, then you must declare war on stagnation. Growth is not a suggestion. It's a requirement. Improvement is not optional. It's survival. In a world that's moving faster than ever, if you're standing still, you're already falling behind. And the only way to stay ahead is to make self-improvement your full-time mission. Make no mistake, this is not about perfection. It's about progress. 1 inch better, 1 decision stronger, 1 habit sharper. Every day, push yourself. Learn something new. Refine your craft. Sharpen your discipline, because every tiny improvement compounds. Every day of effort builds a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. You want confidence? Earn it. You want success? Build it. You want respect? Master your value. And all that begins when you stop waiting for permission and start improving yourself relentlessly. Study your industry. Practice your skills. Learn from failure. Take feedback, refine, and return stronger. Be the one who knows too much to be ignored, the one who's too good to be overlooked. You can't be average and expect an extraordinary life. The two do not mix. Stop living like you have time to waste. The clock is ticking, and while you sleep in, someone else is studying. While you coast, someone else is building. While you doubt yourself, someone else is executing with certainty. Don't get left behind because you chose comfort over growth. This is a game of inches, and the one who improves a little every day wins big in the long run. While others chase shortcuts, you build character. While others seek hacks, you seek mastery. Improvement is the silent force that turns the underdog into the champion. And once you embrace it, once you fall in love with the process, the results begin to chase you. There is no finish line. There is only the next level. The moment you hit a goal, set another. Never settle. Never pause. Never assume you've arrived. Because the minute you stop improving is the minute someone else starts outworking you. And the world will always favor the one who grows faster, learns quicker, and shows up sharper. If you want to lead, improve. If you want to win, improve. If you want to matter, improve. Get addicted to it. Build your identity around it. Because when you become obsessed with growth, you don't need to chase opportunities. Opportunities chase you. If you truly want to rise, shift your mindset from what you can get to what you can give. That is the secret. That is the turning point. That is the line in the sand between those who chase applause and those who create impact. Because the truth is, value is born the moment your purpose moves beyond yourself, when your mission becomes service, when your drive is to contribute, to build, to elevate others, you become unstoppable. You were not put here just to take. You were not designed to survive off scraps of recognition and fleeting validation. You were born to create value, to become a person so filled with vision, so driven by purpose, so committed to contribution, that your very presence becomes a solution. People should feel more powerful, more clear, more energized just by being around you. But that only happens when you stop measuring life by what you receive and start measuring it by what you produce. You want fulfillment? Then become useful. Become the answer to a problem. Become the person others can count on. Become a force of such consistent value that people feel your absence when you're gone. Because true purpose is found when you dedicate yourself to something greater than your comfort. Purpose is discovered in the moments you give your best, not because you're being paid, not because someone is watching, but because that's who you are. You don't need to wait for a title. You don't need a stage, platform, or an audience. What you need is to decide that everything you touch will be better because you touched it. Every room you walk into will rise because you walked in. Every interaction will leave people more clear, more hopeful, more ready to act because you made it your duty to give. And giving doesn't mean weakness. Giving is strength. Contribution is power. When you build your life on the foundation of service, you become indispensable. In every profession, in every business, in every dream, the person who contributes more wins more because value is magnetic. Value is irreplaceable. And when your focus is on contribution, not competition, you stop chasing others. You create a lane of your own. You don't become great by demanding more. You become great by offering more. More effort, more excellence, more initiative, more presence. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you rise. And the reward for giving more is not just success, it's significance. It's the deep, unshakable knowing that you matter because you made a difference. So the next time you ask what you want from life, flip the question. What does life need from you? What problem are you here to solve? What gap are you here to fill? What legacy will you leave not because of what you owned, but because of what you offered? That is where power lives. That is where purpose begins. And that is how you become someone this world cannot do without. The battle is won in the mind long before it is ever won in the world. Your greatest weapon, your greatest asset, your greatest source of power is belief. Not belief in theory, not belief when it's easy, but belief when nothing around you gives you permission to believe. Belief when the odds are against you. Belief when the results haven't shown up yet. That is the belief that builds empires. You will never rise higher than the image you hold of yourself. If you see limitation, you will live limited. If you see weakness, you will act weak. But the moment you shift the vision inside your mind, the world outside begins to follow. Everything begins with a decision to believe, not in what is, but in what can be. Because belief is not passive. Belief is a force. It pulls you through pain. It pushes you past fear. It ignites action when others freeze. Most people are imprisoned not by circumstances, but by doubt. They carry a potential they've never touched because somewhere they accepted a lie that said, you're not enough. But let the truth be known. No circumstance, no failure, no opinion defines you. The only thing that defines your future is what you decide to believe about your ability to shape it. That's the truth that separates the average from the extraordinary. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need you to believe in you. Because once you do, the world adjusts. Opportunities find you. Resources appear. Doors open that once looked sealed shut. Not because magic happened, but because you did. Because belief is fuel. It sharpens your focus, expands your effort, and strengthens your resilience. When you believe, you show up differently. You fight harder. You speak with conviction. You lead with power. But belief alone is not enough. It must be backed with relentless action. It must drive you to move, to grow, to act in alignment with your vision every single day. Belief without work is a fantasy, but belief combined with persistence becomes a force that nothing can stop. When you act like the person you believe yourself to be, eventually that belief becomes real. You don't have to see the whole path. You only need to see yourself as capable of walking it. Begin now. Move forward now, even if you're unsure, even if you feel unprepared. The bold do not wait for proof. They become the proof. They plant their flag in belief and build the evidence through action. Every dream you hold is waiting on one thing, for you to finally believe it's possible. And not someday, now. The moment you decide to bet on yourself, the game changes. Because belief turns fear into fuel, failure into feedback, and obstacles into stepping stones. So stand tall, claim your future, believe with such intensity that doubt has no room to breathe. That's how revolutions begin. That's how leaders are born. That's how your life transforms, from the inside out. So now the question is not can you, but will you? Will you rise? Will you step into the fire and forge the version of yourself this world cannot ignore? Everything you need is already within you. The courage, the resilience, the power to act, the hunger to grow, the heart to serve, and the belief to break through. But it means nothing unless you decide. Decide that today is the day you stop holding back. Decide that you will not leave this life with your potential untapped. Decide that from this moment forward you will walk, speak, move, and live as a person of value, a person the world can't do without. Because when you commit to becoming more valuable than ever before, life doesn't just respond, it rewards.